I will start the recording. Perfect. I hope all of you consent to being recorded. Excellent. All right. Very, very warm welcome to the four of you. You are the chosen people from the entire grade 8 of Shiv Nadar School, Noida, who are going to be participating in the CBSE Constitution quiz for 2021-22. So this is basically an initiative that is taken by the Central Board of Secondary Education, which is CBSE, in order to help you better understand the rule book of our nation, our guiding light, so to speak, which is the Constitution, which I can perhaps even call the backbone of our country, right? And today, if you can understand, is a very special day for all of us, because it was on this day in 1949, that is 26 November 1949, that the Constituent Assembly had finally adopted the Constitution. And then, of course, it came into effect formally after a couple of months, rather 2 months, in fact, on the 26th of January, 1950, which we fondly remember as the Republic Day of our country, right? Okay, so I'm going to be a quiz master for the day. My name is Harshit, and I teach history and political science to middle and senior school. And along with me, we have Abrar sir. All of you know Abrar sir. Abrar sir teaches mathematics to senior school. And he is going to be helping us out as our official scorekeeper and timekeeper as well. Abrar sir, do you have any words for our participants?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Because it's a quiz and it's a test of your mind as well as your presence of mind as well as your wisdom. So just be attentive, listen to questions very carefully, or wherever it is supposed to be read carefully, and don't give up too soon. All the best to all of you.
Perfect. Thank you for those absolute words of wisdom, Abrar sir. All right, everyone. First of all, there's no need to be nervous. It is a very nice, simple, happy quiz that we have prepared for all of you. The general idea, of course, is to play in a fair and competitive spirit, since it is indeed an inter-house competition, right? But yes, the bigger idea is for you to take something of value out of this quiz, that even if you learn something new today with this in this 1 hour that we're going to be together, it is going to add a lot of value to your life, right? Okay, so what I am going to do is I am going to be sharing my screen with all of you. Just give me 1 second. All right. Here we are. Right. Okay. So this is the welcome once again to the Constitution quiz for grade 8, Shiv Nadar School, Noida. Right. You all are the challengers, and I would really like all of you to meet each other. And I would like to formally introduce all of you as well. Representing the Leopard House, we have Soumya Mittal of 8 Orbit. We have Shloka Pandey of 8 Ranthambore, who is representing the Lion House. Then we have Arsheya Bhadra, who is representing the Tiger House. And last but not the least, we have Ridan, who is representing the Panther House. So very warm welcome to all of you once again. Okay, just a very simple understanding of the quiz itself. Each question is going to carry 10 points unless and until it is specified otherwise, right? And you will get 30 seconds to answer your question. Fair enough? So we're not going to exceed time. So it's going to be between 30 to 45 seconds. And let us make sure that we are pitching in with our answers before that. Right? Perfect. So there are going to be 4 rounds, right? And they're very simple, straightforward rounds. There's nothing very complicated about them. The first round is, of course, going to be guess the symbol. And when I say symbol, basically, it is to guess the image in front of you. And once you guess the image, there are going to be some follow-up questions based on that, which you will be required to answer, right? The second round is, do you know your leaders? So the idea of this round is for us to basically have an idea of who were the people who led our Indian independence movement, and of course, how well or how are we able to answer questions based on their lives, right? And then of course there is a do or die, right? So basically it involves 4 questions, and you can progress to the next question only if you answer the previous question correctly. If you answer all the four, you will be given a certain number of scores, certain number of points. But if you're not able to answer, say for instance, the first one, you cannot move to the second one. So it's either do or die, right? Very simple. And last but not the least, we have rapid fire. A set of questions will be asked. You will be given 2 minutes and you will answer them to the best of your abilities. Is that absolutely fine? Right. Okay. And in order to ensure absolute fairness, we are going to be making use of a virtual spinning wheel. The spinning wheel is going to decide which team is going to come first, which team is going to come second. So it's going to be completely and entirely fair in that manner. Fair enough. So before we start, is there anything that the participants want to ask? Is there any question that you'd like to ask? Anything at all? Soumya, Shloka, Ridan, Arshia, anything? No?
No.
Perfect. On that note, let us begin with the first round. And you have guessed it correctly. It is guess the symbol. The rules are very simple. You identify the picture in front of you, you get 10 marks, right? And you answer the 2 questions that come after identifying the picture, you get additional marks for that, right? So 20 marks for answering 2 questions. So that is 10 marks per question, right? And of course, there is no passing allowed. So this is not a passing round and there is no negative marking. So there are 2 things that you need to remember. Fair enough? Perfect. Before we actually jump into this thing itself, let us sort of come to the spinning wheel and let us decide who is going to be the first that will take charge. And here we go. Okay. Perfect. So this question is going to be answered by Leopard House, right? Leopard House, are you? I hope you're ready, right? So what I want you to do is, I would like you to identify this object for me, please. You need to look at the image in front of you, and you need to tell me which is this object that is in front of you. That is for Leopard House. So you have 30 seconds. Soumya, whenever you're ready, you can let me know your answer.
It is from the period of the Indus Valley civilization.
Before you tell me what period, I want you to identify the object for me first. I want you to identify this particular object for me. Let's take a
bronze sculpture.
That's a little vague. Could you be a little more specific? All right, Leopard House, your time is up. I will probably have to take this forward from here. Okay, just for everyone's information, this particular object is the priest king, right? And you very rightly mentioned it is indeed from the Indus Valley civilization. So over here, what you see is which period. So this, had you identified it correctly, the name of the sculpture is the priest king. Because if you look at him properly, he looks more like a priest and perhaps like a king at the same time. So the idol is known as the priest king idol, right? Now, which period does this object belong to? It indeed belongs to the Indus Valley civilization, absolutely. And what is the material used to make this object? It is made up of a specific object material known as steatite. Okay, S-T-A-T-I-T-E, called steatite. So anyway, well attempted. At least you identified the period, but unfortunately, I cannot award you any marks for this since you did not identify the object. All right, let us move to the spinny wheel once again. and let it decide who's going to come and answer the next question. All right, it is Lion House that is going to come forward. Perfect, Lion House, and that would be Shloka. Here is your monument that you would identify for me, please.
The Red Fort.
I would like you to be a little more specific with the location, please.
The Red Fort in Delhi.
Shloka, unfortunately, that answer is incorrect. This is the Red Fort of Agra, not Delhi. All right. Unfortunately, I would. Pardon, Soumya. You were okay. Let us. Okay, let us.
The Agra Fort, right?
It is the Agra Fort indeed. It is the Agra Fort indeed. And yes, looks can be deceiving because a very similar structure exists in Delhi as well. But this particular monument is indeed the Agra Red Fort. And had you identified this image correctly, I would have asked you this. So this particular monument was constructed by which ruler? And that is Akbar, right? And what was the material used to construct this is, of course, red sandstone, as you might have known, right? But well tried. You were very close, very, very close indeed. But I was looking specifically for the place. Okay, moving on. Let us move to once again our spinny wheel and decide who is going to join us for the next round. It's either Panther or Tiger, perhaps someone else. Let's see. Tiger House. All right, Tiger House. And I think we have our Share who's going to be coming in and helping us out with the next question. Ashia, the question for you is that you need to identify this monument in front of you. It's a very popular monument, very famous monument.
Yeah. Called Madhya Pradesh, right? Sanchi Stupa.
It is indeed Sanchi Stupa. Thank you, Arshia. Thank you so much. And for that, you get 10 points. Abrasa, for that, she gets a 10 points score. And then now coming to the follow-up questions. In which state of India is this monument located, Arshia?
Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh
is absolutely right. That gives you another 10 points. And another question. This monument is depicted on the reverse side of which rupee currency note?
100.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, 100 rupee note.
All right, Arshia. Unfortunately, that answer is incorrect. It is the 200 rupee note on which this monument is depicted, but I must give this to you. Very well done. Sir, that would be a score of 20 points to Arshia, and Arshia is from Tiger House. Excellent. Thank you, Arshia.
Thank you.
And now we, of course, have Hridan who is left. And Hridan, for you, the final question is, I want you to identify this location for me, please.
That's the border.
I'm looking for the specific term.
Between India and Pakistan.
Sure enough, but what is the term? You have time, you can think about it. You have around 20 seconds.
How many seconds am I left with?
20 odd seconds.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just know it as the India-Pakistan border, but other than that.
So I'm looking for something more specific than that. Would you be attempting it or should I move ahead? What do you tell me?
You should move ahead.
You should move ahead. All right, in that case, Ridan, this is the Wagah border, right? So this is the term that I was looking for. And if you look at the image, this is basically the beating retreat ceremony that happens at the Wagah border. It's a beautiful ceremony to behold. You have the border forces from the Indian side and the Pakistan side in this beautiful grand display that is right in front of you in all their grandeur, right, waving around their flags, right? And if we were to come to the questions, so this image is taken in the city of Amritsar, right? So if you go a little further ahead from Amritsar, you do come across the Wagah border. And as soon as you cross the Wagah border, you come across Lahore. So Amritsar and Lahore are really close to each other, but Lahore is in Pakistan today. Right, so this image is taken in Amritsar, which is in Punjab. So this was the first question. And your second question would have been, who ordered troops of the British Indian Army to fire their rifles into a crowd of unarmed Indian civilians? And that would be General Reginald Dyer, right? General Dyer, we are all aware of, and of his brutality. So that would have been the second question, but very well attempted. It was indeed the India-Pakistan border, but I was looking for the name. Perfect. So that brings us to the end of round one. And if I could call in Abrar sir to give us the tally of scores and who is leading currently, please.
Yeah. So so far, Leopard House, Panthers, and Lion have not been able to open their account. They're still at 0. However, Arsha Bhadra from Tiger House, she's at 20 right now. So the leading house right now is the Tigers.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Abrar sir, for that information. All right, we have still 3 more rounds remaining. Everyone will buck up and play their best game. And now let us move forward in our journey, which is, do you know your leaders, right? The rules are very simple. Please do read them carefully. There is going to be an image in front of you in which there are going to be 2 leaders, leader A and leader B. You will first identify the leaders, right? And after identifying the leaders, you will answer questions about them. All right. Teams will be allowed to answer the questions related to the leaders only if they are able to identify the leader. So that means there is no score for identifying the leader, all right? But only when you identify the leader, it is like a boarding pass for you to answer the questions based on them. Now, once you start answering the questions based on them, you get 10 points for each correct answer. And once again, this is not a passing round. Questions that are not answered will not be passed to the next team. Perfect. I hope this is clear, right? And on that note, we will return back to our spinny wheel to decide who is going to play this round for the first time. And who do we have? We have Lion House. Perfect. All right, Lion House, and that would be Shloka. Here is the image that you would need to identify for me, please. You need to identify who leaders A and B are. Number 1, let's do that first.
Atal Bihari Vajpayee.
Is leader A, absolutely, and
Chandrasekhar Azad.
Chandrasekhar Azad is the right answer, Shloka. Very well done. Now I will move on to the questions which you have opened up for yourself. And here we go. Leader A was a prime minister who belonged to the Congress party. Is it true or false? Leader A was a prime minister who belonged to the Congress party. True or false? You can have a look at this again. This was leader A, right?
False.
This is leader A. So was a prime minister who belonged to the Congress party. True or false? You have 30 seconds.
False.
Are you sure? Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Very well done, Shloka. That gives you a plus 10. Abrasa, so that would be a plus 10 for the Shloka Pandey. Moving on to the second question. Leader B was involved in the Dash robbery of 1925. I want you
Kakori.
to. Are you sure? Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Kakori is indeed the correct answer. Very well done, Shloka. Very nice. And coming to the last question, that would be another plus 10. Leader A was awarded the Dash Civilian Award. Leader A was awarded the Dash Civilian Award.
Are we supposed to give the name or the rank?
No, the name of the civilian award, right? So the name of the civilian award, yes, you understood that correct.
Padma Vibhushan.
Padma Vibhushan, is that your final answer?
Yes.
Unfortunately, Shloka, Padma Vibhushan is not what Atal Bihari Vajpayee got. Atal Bihari Vajpayee is a Bharat Ratna, right? He was awarded the Bharat Ratna, which is India's highest civilian honor, but very well done indeed. Tiger House, sorry, not Tiger House, Lion House, you get a plus 20 for your efforts. Very well done indeed. Let us now move on back to our spinny wheel. And the next house would be excellent. We have Arshaya coming into the scene again, and Arshaya, your image is going to be this. Kindly identify leaders A and B for me, please. I think you're on mute in case you're attempting it. You have 30 seconds. And again, there's no negative marking, so you can attempt. Yeah.
Leader B is Indira Gandhi.
Leader B is Indira Gandhi. How about A? Any idea? You still have around 10 seconds. And again, there's no negative marking.
Lajpat Rai.
Lala Lajpat Rai is incorrect. Okay. Just to add on, leader A was Mangal Pandey, right? And leader B, you have identified correctly. So Arshia, that gives you access to leader B's questions. And that would be the second and the third questions. Let's start with the second one. Leader B launched Operation Dash in Amritsar against the Khalistani militia.
Blue Star.
Blue Star is absolutely on point. Plus 10 to you, Arshia. Very well done. And which decorated army general, later field marshal, led the nation to victory during the 1971 Indo-Pak War during leader B's tenure as the prime minister? Army general, later field marshal.
Sam McIntyre.
Sam Manekshaw is absolutely correct. Very well done, Arshia. Very well done indeed. So that gives a plus 20 to the Tiger House. Very well played, Abrasa. Tiger House gets a plus 20.
Noted.
Perfect. Moving on to the third round, and let's see who the third house is going to be. And who do we have? Who do we have? Okay, we have Tiger again, but Tiger we have already done. So we will spin the wheel again. Excellent. There we go. Okay. Leopard house. So that is Soumya. Here is the image for you. I would like you to identify these leaders, please.
Leader A is Rabindranath Tagore.
A is Rabindranath Tagore, absolutely, and leader B would be? You still have 15 seconds. You can probably guess if you'd like. All right, Soumya, your time is up. I'll just make this easier for you. Leader B is C. Rajagopalachari, right? Leader B is C. Rajagopalachari. Leader A has been identified absolutely correctly. It is indeed Rabindranath Tagore. And that means you have access to leader A's questions, which are as follows. Which popular composition by leader A has been sung by Amitabh Bachchan in the film Kahani? Which popular composition by leader A has been sung by Amitabh Bachchan in the film Kahani? All right, I think your time is up. Let us move on to the second question by leader A. You still have another question which you can attempt. Which Nobel Prize was awarded to leader A?
Peace Prize.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, it's my final answer.
Is your final answer? Unfortunately, Soumya, Peace Prize was not awarded to Rabindranath Tagore. It was the Nobel Prize in Literature that was awarded to Rabindranath Tagore, right? And let me just answer just for everyone's general knowledge. Akla Cholore was the composition that was sung by Amitabh Bachchan in his bold voice for the film Kahani, which starred Vidya Balan, right? Leader B was C. Rajagopalachari, who was India's last Governor General. And of course, I have already mentioned Nobel Prize of Literature was awarded to Rabindranath Tagore. Perfect. And now we have Hridan from the Panther House, who will be attempting the next series of leaders. And Hridan, here is your image on your screen right now. I would like you to identify these leaders for me, please.
How long do I have left on the clock?
You have roughly 20 seconds.
I'm not sure.
About either of them, would you like to
I'm not
guess?
sure about
Negative marking.
but I'm sorry, I'm not sure.
About either of them?
Yes.
Are you sure? Is that your final stand?
Yes.
All right, Hridan. Thank you so much. Let me highlight it for everyone. Leader A is Dr. Rajendra Prasad, right? And leader B is Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, who is related to Amir Khan, just as a general trivia. Okay. So if we were to, if Hridan had identified these correctly, the questions would have been as follows. Which civilian award was leader A honored with in 1962? And once again, Dr. Rajendra Prasad was awarded the Bharat Ratna. All right. Which ministerial portfolio was handled by leader B, which is Maulana Abul Kalam Azad? After India's independence in 1947, he was India's first education minister. Important portfolio. He was India's first education minister, right, after independence in Jawaharlal Nehru's cabinet. And leader A served as the president of both dash and dash. It's a very interesting question because he served as the president. Soumya, would you, okay, anyway, would you like, you're raising your hand, I can see. Would you like to add to this?
President of both India and the Constituent Assembly.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. He served as the president of both India and the Constituent Assembly, as Soumya very rightly mentioned. So this would have been the last series of leaders that we were exploring. Thank you so much for playing this round. All of you are playing in very great spirit and with a lot of enthusiasm. And I'd like to bring in Abrar sir right now to kindly help us out with the scores and who's leading currently.
Thank you. So at the end of round two, we don't see Leopard House and Panthers scoring. They are both at 0 right now. Tiger House, however, has scored 20 as well as the Lion House, which has scored 20. So right now, if we compare both the rounds, it's the Tiger which is leading right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Abrar sir, for that, for the scores. All right, we still have 2 more rounds to go. All is not lost. We are halfway through, right? We will now be commencing with our 3rd round, which is do or die. The concept is very simple. There are 4 questions that are going to be allotted to each of you. But the catch is that the points that are assigned to each question will progressively keep increasing. So say, for instance, you answer the first question, you get 5 points. You answer the second question, you get 10 points for that question. So that makes it a total of 15 points. And similarly, for the third, you get 20 points. So that makes it totally 35 points. And then last but not the least, if you're able to answer the 4th question as well, you get a total of 75 points, which are up for grabs, right? So that can really catapult you to a really high level, right? So there are 75 points up for grabs. But the catch is that if you are unable to answer the first question, we do not move to the second question, right? Or if you are unable to answer the second question, we do not move to the third. And that is the only catch. The rest, the playground is yours. And again, we're going to go back to our faithful spinny wheel to decide who is the team that is going to come forward and answer the first set of questions. And here we go. Perfect. I think we have Tiger House, which is going to come first, and I believe it is our Shiv from Tiger House who will be taking up the first set of questions. Ashia, your first set of questions are as follows. Question number 1. Which state in India, or which state legislature in India has a bicameral legislature? You need to tell me which state legislature in India has a bicameral legislature? You have 30 seconds. So you need to tell me the state which has a bicameral legislature.
Uttar Pradesh.
Is that your final answer?
There are 6. So should I say all 6 or just either one of them?
Any state would work.
Well, then Uttar Pradesh. I go with Uttar Pradesh.
Uttar Pradesh is indeed the absolute correct answer. Very well done. Let's move. So that would be a +5. Now you have the second question open for you. As per the Constitution, who is empowered to declare a national emergency in India? As per the Constitution, who is empowered to declare a national emergency in India? You have roughly 20 seconds.
President with advice of Prime Minister.
I would want one answer from you.
President.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
No, be confident. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Perfect, Ashia. Very well done. It is indeed the president who's empowered to declare a national emergency in India. That would be a +10 now for you. So that makes your score +15. Very well done. You're playing well. Let's move on to the third question. On the basis of which plan was the Constituent Assembly constituted? On the
Cabinet
basis
Mission
of
Plan
which
1946.
Pardon?
Cabinet Mission Plan 1946.
Cabinet Mission Plan 1946 is absolutely correct. Very well done, Asha. You are playing beautifully. Very nice. And let us see if you can hit the jackpot with the final question. Which voting system was used to elect the members of the Constituent Assembly? And I am looking for a very specific voting system. Again, there is no negative marking. This is for all the teams. You're more than welcome to attempt when your chance comes, of course. Which voting system was used to elect the members of the Constituent Assembly? 15 seconds more.
Single transferable vote based on proportional representation.
Is that your final answer?
Yes. Yes.
That is the absolutely correct answer. It is indeed the single transferable vote system by proportional representation, Ashia, and you have hit the jackpot with a plus 75 in this round. Wonderfully played. My congratulations. Very well done. So Tiger House, Abrasa would be a plus 75 for this round.
Noted.
Perfect. Let us go back to our spinny wheel and let us see which team is going to end up next. Okay, it is Tiger again. We will spin it again. This time it is Panther House, and that would be Hridan, right? Hridan, I have the next set of questions for you coming up on your screen now. Question number 1. What is the maximum time interval permitted by the Constitution between two sessions of the Parliament? What is the maximum time interval permitted by the Constitution between two sessions of the Parliament?
6 months.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Absolutely well done, Hridan. That is indeed the correct answer. Plus 5 to you, and we will move on to the next question. Which schedule of the Indian Constitution deals with the division of powers between the center and the states? It's a very typical Constitution question. Which schedule of the Indian Constitution deals with the division of powers between the center and the states?
How much time do I have left?
Roughly 15-20 seconds.
The 7th schedule?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Very, very well done, Hridan. It is indeed the 7th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Excellent, which deals with the powers between the centers, distribution of powers between the center and the states. Well done. This gives you access to the 3rd question, which would be that the Constitution allows the imposition of president's rule in a state in which particular situation? The Constitution allows the imposition of president's rule in a state in which particular situation?
I'm not sure.
Would you like to attempt it in any case, considering there's no negative marking?
I'm sorry, I don't have an answer.
Perfect. And that's absolutely acceptable. Let me answer this question for you. The Constitution allows the imposition of president's rule in a state in case of the breakdown of constitutional machinery, which is a slightly fancy language for law and order disturbances, right? So I was looking for this term, breakdown of the constitutional machinery, but very well played. you will get a plus 15. So Abrasa, plus 15 goes to Panther House for this round.
Noted, sir.
And allow me to also shed some light on the last question. The Constitution empowers the Parliament to rename a state or redefine its boundary by an absolute majority in both houses of the Parliament. Is it true or is it false? The answer for this is false, right? The Constitution allows the Parliament to rename any state or redefine its boundary by just a simple majority and not an absolute majority in both houses of the Parliament. Very well played, Ridan. Moving on to our wheel again to see who's going to end up third for this round. All right, it is going to be Lion House, so I'm going to invite Shloka to step in. And Shloka, these are your set of questions on your screen right now. Which part or article of the Indian Constitution directs the state to make efforts for banning animal slaughtering of cows and calves and other milch and draught cattle? Which part? So you can either tell me the part or you could tell me the article, both work. Of the Indian Constitution directs the state to make efforts for banning animal slaughtering of cows and calves. This has been in news also, it's actually related to current affairs. And other milch and draught cattle.
I believe it is the Article 48.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
100% correct, Shloka. Very well done. It is indeed the Article 48 or Part 4 of the Directive Principles of State Policy enshrined in our Constitution. Very, very well done. That allows you access to the second question. Who was the chairman of the Fundamental Rights Subcommittee in the Constituent Assembly? The chairman of the Fundamental Rights Subcommittee in the Constituent Assembly.
J.B. Kriplani.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Wonderful, Shloka. It is indeed J.B. Kriplani who was the chairman of the Fundamental Rights Subcommittee. Very well played. Let us move ahead to the third question. Which princely state in Gujarat was eventually made a part of the Indian Union thanks to the efforts of Sardar Patel? Which princely state in Gujarat was eventually made a part of the Indian Union? It has a very interesting story behind it as well. But thanks to the effort of the Iron Man of India, Sardar Patel. You have 30 odd seconds.
Junagadh.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Junagadh is absolutely the correct answer. Very well done, Shloka. Very well done indeed. And that leaves you with our jackpot question, which will fetch you 75 marks or points. And that is, who was the first woman governor of a state in independent India?
Sarojini Naidu.
I can see the smile on your face, and that smile betrays the correct answer. Absolutely well done, Shloka. It was indeed Sarojini Naidu who was the first woman governor, and that fetches you 75 points for this round. Abrasa, you can hand 75 points to Team Lion for their brilliant effort.
Thank you.
Perfect. And now I guess we are left with Soumya for this round. Soumya, here are the set of questions on the screen for you now. What is the minimum age prescribed by the Constitution to contest for presidentship in India?
30 years of age.
Is that your final answer? All right, Soumya, if that is your final answer, my sincere apologies, that is incorrect. The minimum, you were very close, I must give that to you. You were very, very close. But the minimum age that is prescribed by the Constitution to contest for presidentship is 35 years of age. And for becoming a member of parliament in the Lok Sabha, it is 25 years of age. Very close, great attempt, but unfortunate. And let me, of course, shed some light on the other questions as well. In case a president dies while in office, the vice president can act as the president for a maximum period of 6 months, right? In case we have the honorable president who passes away, then the honorable prime minister takes over, honorable vice president takes over for a period of 6 months. Then, of course, we have who was the chairman of the minority subcommittee in the Constituent Assembly. It was Mr. Harendra Kumar Mukherjee. That was H.C. Mukherjee, who was the chairman of the minorities subcommittee. H.C. Mukherjee was a Christian himself. And last but not the least, where are the original copies of the Constitution kept? They are kept in the Central Library of our Parliament. So that perhaps wraps up this round. And I would once again like to call in Abrasa to do us the honors of telling us the scores.
Yeah, this was almost a nerve-wracking round. Unfortunately, the Leopard House has not been able to score 0. Pradhan has scored a 15, and both Tigers and Lion, Arshia and Shloka, have scored 75 each. Very well done. And so far, going by all the scores, Tiger is still the leading team. Thank you.
Thank you, Abrasa, for that information. And now we're going to step into the final round of this quiz. And that is going to be the rapid fire round, right? That is going to be the rapid fire round. In the rapid fire, the rules are very, very simple. You will be given 5 topics to choose from. Each team is going to pick one topic by draw of lots. Of course, we are not going to do lots over here. We're going to spin the wheel as usual. The topics for you to choose is there on a platter in front of you. They range from the Constitution of India, Judiciary of India, elections in India, Parliament and its functions, and of course, last but not the least, we have a mixed bag, right? And the team which will answer maximum, so each topic is going to have 12 questions. It's not going to be more than that. Okay? Each one of you are going to have 12 questions. And now what is going to happen is that you will be given 2 minutes. Abrasa will have the clock, right? He'll have a timer. And at the moment I start asking questions, he's going to start the timer, right? So you will be given 2 minutes to answer 12 questions. And each correct answer is going to fetch you 2 marks. So now 12 twos are 24. So maximum of 24 marks can be gotten in this round, right? I hope that makes sense. Let us now perhaps, just give me 1 second. Start with, I think my screen has frozen. If you could just allow me 1 second, please. What has happened? See.
Meanwhile, the students can make up their minds.
Yeah, you
when
can
they
do
get
that meanwhile. Just allow me a moment, please.
Yeah, which one would you like to go for? And meanwhile, I want to appreciate the social sciences teacher also for having groomed the students to such level that they're able to answer such deep questions, because normal people, laymen would not be able to answer the question about the slaughter and the constituent assembly question about the minorities or the cabinet mission. They were quite challenging ones. Well done, all of you. Carry on.
All right. Thank you, Abra sir, for that encouragement for our participants. And after that brief little snag on my end, we are ready to commence with the first round of spinning the wheel. And here we go. All right. We have Leopard, who is going to start this round for us. And I believe Leopard is going to be Soumya. Right. So, Soumya, have you decided which topic you would like to choose?
Go ahead with Constitution.
Pardon? The Constitution, is it? Did I hear you right?
Yes, the Constitution.
The Constitution. Perfect. Soumya, here are your questions which you will be hearing. So hear me properly because the questions are rapid fire. They are not going to be on the screen, right? So please hear me properly and answer the questions in as and how you deem fit. And of course, I would like to remind you, in case you are not aware of the answers, please skip the questions, right? Just give me 1 second. Yeah. All right. Abrasa, let's start in 3, 2, 1, and let us start. Question number 1. By which constitutional amendment was the voting age reduced to 18 years from 21 years? Soumya, if you do not know the answer, just pass. Open your mic, switch your mic on. Pass. Okay. Question number 2. When was the first meeting of the Constituent Assembly held?
Can you repeat?
Pardon?
Your voice broke.
When was the first meeting of the Constituent Assembly held?
On 29th of August 1946.
Okay, incorrect. Which article of the Indian Constitution deals with the money bill? Which article of the Indian Constitution deals with the money bill?
I'd like to skip this one.
Skip this one. According to the Constitution, who shall act as the legal advisor to the government of a state in India? Legal advisor to the government of a state. No? Okay. The president's rule under Article 356 remains valid in a state for a period of how many months? The president's rule in a state under Article 356 remains valid for how many months?
Six months.
Pardon?
6 months.
6 months is the absolutely correct answer, +2. Who does the Constitution appoint as the custodian of the public purse? All right, I think we have heard the buzzer from Abrar, sir. Your time is up, Soumya. In the case of a rapid fire, in case you're not aware of the answers, the best thing to do is to just say pass, right? That is the general strategy, but you tried your best. But in any case, you answered one question correctly, right? And that would be a +2 Abrasa for Soumya, right? And Soumya is from the Leopard House, so that's a +2. Well played, Soumya. You tried your absolute best. Let me just quickly go through the questions and answer them for our audience, so that, of course, the idea is for us to learn at the end of the day. The first question was, by which constitutional amendment was the voting age reduced to 18 years from 21 years? It is the 61st Amendment of the Constitution. When was the first meeting of the Constituent Assembly held? It was 9th of December, not August, 1946. Which article of the Indian Constitution deals with the money bill? It is Article 110. Then you have, who is the legal advisor to the government of a state? It is the Advocate General. Then you have the President's rule under Article 356 remaining valid for how long? You answered that correctly, which is 6 months. Custodian of the public purse is the Comptroller and Auditor General of India. How many sessions did the Constituent Assembly convene for to finally draft the Constitution? It is 11 sessions. Right? What did the Constituent Assembly transform itself into on the 26th of January 1950? The Constituent Assembly became the Provisional Parliament of India. Right? Then who was the chairman of the ad hoc committee on the national flag in the Constituent Assembly? It was Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Who was the last person to sign the Constitution of India? It was Mr. Firoz Gandhi. Who was the leader that put forth the idea that a Constituent Assembly is necessary for the creation of an independent nation? It was Mr. M.N. Roy. And last but not the least, the Supreme Court observed the basic structure doctrine of the Constitution in which famous case of India? It was the Keshwananda Bharati case. So this was the rapid fire for Constitution. I hope we are a little more wiser at the end of this. Now let us come back to spinning the wheel and let us see which house is going to go next.
I have a question.
Do you just give me one second? Just give me. Let us first spin the wheel. A Panther was done. A Panther's not done. Okay. We'll invite Panther after this. Yes, please. You had a question. Go ahead.
Right. So, for example, if we have gone through all the questions, if we answer a few of them and pass through most of them,
Yeah.
if we still have time left, will you go through the past questions again?
No, I will
To
not
see
do
if-
that because you've already
Oh,
passed
okay.
it. Yeah. Valid question, but no. Once you say pass, that question is null and void. Like it will not be taken into consideration anymore. Right? Anyway, Hridan, I guess it's your turn now. Have you chosen a topic?
Can I use the same topic or do I have to choose a
No,
different
you
one?
cannot use the same topic. Constitution of India is now over.
Okay.
So you'll have to choose
Then
amongst the remaining.
Parliament and its functions.
Parliament and its functions. Absolutely. Just give me one sec. All right. Parliament and its functions coming to you. Abrasa in 3, 2, 1. And let's start. Question number 1. What is the minimum age for holding office in Lok Sabha?
Repeat.
What is the minimum age for holding office in Lok Sabha?
2025.
What is the final answer?
25.
25 is the absolute correct answer. Well
25.
done. Question number 2. In which house is the motion for no confidence against the government introduced?
Pass.
Pass. How many sessions of the Lok Sabha take place in a year?
Could you repeat?
How many sessions of the Lok Sabha take place in a year?
In a year. 3 sessions?
Absolutely
3.
correct. Next question. Who is known as the father of Lok Sabha?
Could you repeat?
Who is known as the father of Lok Sabha?
The father. Pass. I'll answer it. No, wait, no. You know what? Just pass. Just pass.
Perfect. The Parliament of India is based on which model of Britain?
On which model of what? Britain. Pass.
Which union territory of India has the highest number of Lok Sabha seats?
Could you repeat?
Which union territory in India has the highest number of Lok Sabha seats?
Uttar Pradesh.
Moving on. Which Constitutional Amendment Act abolished the 2 additional members who were appointed from the Anglo-Indian community to the Parliament?
Pass.
Which authority in India acts as the chairman of the Rajya Sabha? All right, your time is up, Ridan. You tried your best and you played well. You answered 2 questions correctly, in fact. So that would give you a +4 in total. Abrasa, Panther House will get a +4 in this round.
Sure.
Let me quickly shed some light on the answers that you missed out on. What is the minimum age for holding office in Lok Sabha? It is 25 years, which you answered correctly. Which house is the motion for no confidence against the government introduced? No confidence motion can be introduced in the Lok Sabha. How many sessions of the Lok Sabha take place in a year? This you answered correctly, 3 sessions. Then you have who is the father of Lok Sabha? It is Mr. G.V. Mavalankar, general knowledge. Then you have the Parliament of India is based on which model of Britain? It's the Westminster model. Then which union territory, this is the question that I asked you, has the highest number of Lok Sabha seats? Union territory, Lok Sabha seats, highest number is Delhi. Okay, not Uttar Pradesh. Then which constitutional amendment act abolished the 2 additional members who were appointed from the Anglo-Indian community to the parliament by the president? It is the 104th Constitutional Amendment Act. Which authority in India also acts as the chairman of the Rajya Sabha? It is the Honorable Vice President who is the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Then you have how many members are nominated by the president to the Rajya Sabha? It is 12 members. Which is the largest committee in the parliament? It is the Estimates Committee. Who chairs the joint sitting of both of the houses of the Lok Sabha? It is the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. And finally, what is the 0 hour in the parliament? 0 hour is basically a time in the parliament where the most important questions are raised and tackled. Well done, Ridan. These would have been your set of questions. Let us now come back to the spinny wheel to decide who is going to be the third team to take the questions forward. The Panther was just done. We'll spin it again. We have Tiger House, so I'm going to invite Arshia to pick a topic, please.
Mixed bag.
Pardon?
Like to choose mixed bag.
Mixed bag, absolutely. Just give me a moment, please. Mixed bag. Perfect. Abrasa, we will be starting with mixed bag for our share of Tiger House in 3, 2, 1, and go. Question number 1. Which of the following commissions was appointed, or which commission was appointed by the central government on union-state relations in 1983?
Pass.
Who can remove the vice president from his office?
President.
Incorrect. Who is vested with the executive power of the union?
Prime Minister.
Incorrect. Which institution in India can carry forward the process of impeachment of the president?
Supreme Court.
Incorrect. Who elects the representatives of the state in Rajya Sabha?
Pass.
Which state in India does not have a Panchayati Raj institution?
Goa.
Incorrect. Which part of the constitution deals with the panchayat? Which part of the constitution deals with the panchayats?
Part 9.
Excellent. +2. With the Planning Commission of India was replaced by which think tank?
Niti Aayog.
+2. Which amendment act of the constitution allowed the inclusion of fundamental duties? Okay, I think your time is up, Arshia. You played well. So you got 2 questions right. So that gives our share of the Tiger House +4, Abrasa. Perfect. Let us quickly discuss the questions that were asked, Arshia. Which commission was appointed by the central government on union-state relations? It is the Sarkaria Commission. Who can remove the vice president from his office as per the rules in the constitution? It is the parliament which can do that. Who is vested with the executive power of the union? Executive power lies with the president, not the legislative power. Legislative power lies with the prime minister. Then who do we have? Then we have which institution in India can carry forward the process of impeachment of the president? It has to be the parliament. Who elects the representatives of the state in Rajya Sabha? It is the members of the Legislative Assembly of States which do that. Which state in India does not have a Panchayati Raj institution? There are 3 states and all of them are in the northeast. It is Nagaland, Meghalaya and Mizoram. Either of them would have worked. Which part of the constitution deals with the Panchayat? This part you got absolutely right. It is part 9 of the constitution. The Planning Commission of India was replaced by which think tank? You got this right, which was the Niti Aayog. Which amendment act of the constitution allowed inclusion of fundamental duties? It is the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act under Indira Gandhi of 1976. Then which committee recommended incorporation of fundamental duties? It was a Swaran Singh committee under Indira Gandhi. And then which article of the Indian Constitution abolishes untouchability? Article 17, general knowledge. And which year was the State Reorganization Committee appointed? It was appointed very soon after independence, 6 years later in 1953. Right? Perfect. You played well. You got 2 of them correct. Now I guess we are left with our only competitor for the day, Shloka. Would like you to choose one topic out of these, please, the ones which have not been exhausted already.
The Judiciary of India.
The Judiciary of India. Nice topic. Let me open my questions. All right. Take a deep breath. Abrasa, we will be starting with the judiciary rapid fire with Shloka in 3, 2, 1. And here we go. Question number 1. From which act during the British rule did we get the concept of a single order of court? Shloka, yes, no? Would you like to answer?
Pass.
Pass. Perfect. Which part of the Indian Constitution deals with the powers and functions of the Supreme Court in India? Which part? Shall we move on?
Yes, pass.
Perfect. The first female Chief Justice of India was from Karnataka. True or false?
False.
+2. Very nice. The judge of the Supreme Court can remain in office until what age?
Of which court?
A Supreme Court. Till what age can he remain in office?
$65.
65 +2. Very nice. Which institutions can remove a Supreme Court judge from his office?
The president.
+2. Very nice. Which article of the Indian Constitution orders the establishment of a Supreme Court in India? Which article of the Indian Constitution orders
Article 124.
Article 124 +2. Who was the first woman judge of India?
Fatima Bibi.
Fatima Bibi +2. How many judges of the Supreme Court have been removed from office by impeachment? Okay, Shloka, I think the timer has run, right? Perfect. You got 5 questions correct, which is very impressive. So that would give you a +10 in that case. Abrar sir, that would be a +10 for the Lion House because Shloka got 5 questions correct. Let's quickly shed some light on these. So which act of the British Parliament ordered the establishment of a single order of court? It was the Government of India Act 1935. Which part of the Indian Constitution deals with the powers and functions of the Supreme Court? It is part 5, after the directive principles of state policy. Then which, the first female Chief Justice of India was born in Karnataka? True or false? It is false. It's a trick question. There was no female, or there is no female Chief Justice yet. The judge of the Supreme Court can remain in office till what age? You got that right, 65 years. Which institution can terminate the office of the judge of a Supreme Court? The president, absolutely right. The parliament can do that as well, by the way. Which institutions can, which article of the Indian Constitution states that the establishment of the Supreme Court should happen in India? Article 124, absolutely. First woman judge, Fatima Bibi, absolutely. How many judges of the Supreme Court have been removed from office by impeachment? Luckily enough, none. Which is the only union territory in India with its own high court? Delhi. The judge of a high court can be removed from office when what fraction of the majority of members of each house of the parliament request the president to remove the judge? The fraction is 2/3 of the total house present and voting. Which service is currently being contemplated by the government for the judiciary along the lines of central services like the IAS and the IPS? It is the AIJS, which is the All India Judicial Service. And which state in India does not have a high court? Nagaland. And on that note, we conclude the final round for the CBSE Constitution Quiz 2021-22 for grade 8. And now I would like to invite Abrar sir to do the honors of reading us out the scores and also of declaring the winner for grade 8.
Thank you. Even this was not a very easy round, sir. But I should appreciate children were patiently listening and they tried their best to give the answers. At the end of this particular round, in this round, Soumya was able to score 2 marks with 1 good question, 1 right question. Hridan and Arshia from respectively Panthers and Tiger, they were able to score 4 each. And finally, Shloka was able to score a good 10. This was about this particular round. Now I would like to tell you the cumulative scores and the final winners. I start with rank number 4. The Lion stands at rank 4 with a total score of 2. The Panthers stand on rank 3 with a total score of 19. Lion stands on rank number 3 with 105. And finally, it's the Tigers that stands at rank 1 with 119 marks. So very, very well done to all of you and very well done to Tiger House.
Congratulations, Tiger House, and that would of course be our share. Very, very well done. Exceptionally played. Of course, we have Shloka coming in second. Shloka, I think that was correct, right? Lion House stood second, sir?
That's right, sir.
I just quickly note this down as well. Lion has stood second, and then of course we have the third place being held by Panther.
Panther came third, and Lions came fourth.
No, you mean
Lions.
no? Sorry, you mean wait 1 sec. Soumya, Leopards came fourth, sir.
The Leopards. I beg your pardon.
Leopards came fourth. Perfect. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being a part of our day and of playing so brilliantly. It was indeed a very challenging quiz, and you made the most of it. My heartiest and my sincerest congratulations to all the winners and the participants as well for being here today. And of course, my heartfelt gratitude to Abrar sir for consenting to be here today despite his busy schedule, and for helping us out, keeping a track of all your scores, and for being the absolute gentleman that he is. Anyway, and also I can see Pooja ma'am and Mary ma'am, thank you for being here. We shall probably do this quiz again the next year, and looking forward to having your juniors. Of course, grade 8, you'll move to grade 9. Perhaps you will not be there. Hopefully seeing you guide them the next year going forward. Thank you once again. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma'am. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Thank
Congratulations, Asha. Congratulations, everyone.
Thanks so much, Shavka. Congratulations.